my beautiful bookish souls, and welcome to afternoon tea. Today is Tuesday, I hope, unless I am very late in uploading this video. I can't tell because I'm filming this on a Friday, but I'm just telling you that today is Tuesday. So ignoring what day it is and the fact that I have lost all sense of time, which I guess is fitting for an Alice in Wonderland themed video, the reason why I'm informing you that it is Tuesday is because this should be a tag Tuesday. I am filming a tag, and that tag is the books and tea tag. So this tag was originally created by Olivia at her channel Olivia Pope, and I wasn't actually tagged in this video, but I did discover it thanks to Marissa over at Blatantly Bookish. So she's very belatedly tagged me in this video when I asked if I could do it, and I'm gonna do it now. That didn't really make any sense, but let's... So this prompt immediately made me think of children's tales and children's books and what would be considered a staple for children to read growing up. Words, I tell you, who needs them? And so for this prompt I have chosen The Complete Fairy Tales of Oscar Wilde. These are some absolutely beautiful, beautiful stories. They are phenomenally written, they are so poetic, and they all have wonderful, wonderful themes and morals to them that just absolutely just captured my heart and soul when I read this as a book. And so for that reason I think that they are an absolute staple for any young child to read or have read to them. Probably maybe not very young because some of them are a bit bleak, but either way this was my choice for this prompt. So for this prompt I have chosen Jane Eyre. And this probably comes as no surprise. Jane Eyre is my favourite classic book of all time. I did go on a fairly solid rave about the reasons why, or some of the reasons why I like this book in my Books and Madness film. The reason why I love this book so much is because it doesn't really fit into any one genre too well. Like, you might think it's a romance, you might think it's a gothic, you might think it's a bit of a thriller, you might think it's a literary classic. Like, it fits into all of these themes and it fits across all of those themes in a way as well. It's just a very, very ambiguous, clever and classic book, so that was my choice. So for this prompt I have chosen 100 Years of Solitude. This is a magical realism book. This is the first magical realism book that I ever read, and I just was mesmerized by how beautiful that writing style is. I've talked about it a few times as one of my new favorite genres, this kind of magical realism, and the questions that it raises about perspective and viewpoints and differing cultures and other cultures, so it felt like the perfect choice to make for this prompt. So for this book I have chosen Cold Comfort Farm by Stella Gibbons. And this book is just a breath of fresh air to read. The language is a bit dense to get through, but once you get into it, this book is hilarious. It's like this girl moves in with her sort of old country family that's living out in the country, and all of them have these sort of bizarre problems in their own way, and she just takes them one by one and solves their problems for them and is like, I understand exactly what you need, and I'm gonna just subtly, slowly work things out so that you figure out what you need and you make the decision that is going to change your life in a phenomenal way. And it's just so hilarious. It's also been made into a film, so if you can't be bothered necessarily reading the book because the language is too hard, I strongly recommend you take a look at the film because the film is hilarious too, and it has Stephen Fry in it. And I just very, very, just, yes, refreshing and funny and I guess invigorating. For this prompt I have chosen Illuminae, shock horror. I don't really know why I said shock horror. Anyway, I chose this book because I wanted to kind of interpret refreshing as something a bit new and a bit different, and this book really was refreshing in that it was such a unique way of writing a story. This book it's so unique and just phenomenal and so quick and easy to read, and I was just blown away by how beautiful this book was. Like, it just looks pretty as well as being an amazing story. So that was my refreshing pick. This prompt has two choices as well. The main choice that I've chosen for this prompt is Homegoing, which is my first 5-star book of this year. This book is just phenomenal, you guys. This book is amazing. It is so intricate and well crafted. It has beautiful, beautiful writing. It has this wonderful overarching story. It has this complexity to it that is it's just a work of art in its writing. It's so phenomenal and very, very rich, as the prompt asks for. I also wanted to give a bonus shout out to The Handmaid's Tale, which is a book that has stuck with me for a very long time after I read it, because this book is just dense and rich and has some seriously confronting themes and ideas and concepts in it, and just left me feeling in a daze, just kind of lost and weird after I read it for a long time, and I felt like I couldn't read another book because I was still sort of stuck on this one, so that one as well. For this prompt, I have chosen The Hobbit. I've chosen this book purely because this book feels like coming home to me. It's just such a wonderful, cozy book. Like I think I said before in a video somewhere, this book feels like the ultimate autumn book, and autumn is the ultimate cozy season to me. And I'm reading it at the moment for all of those reasons. It's cozy, and it's, you know, the original fantasy novel basically, and so it's just so fun to read, and it's slow paced and it's easygoing, and it's just nice and cozy. For this book prompt thing, I have chosen The Original Beauty and the Beast. This story was quite bizarre in how different it is to the Disney book, and also how different it is to a lot of other fairy tales that I had read. There's actually very little plot to it. It's more like this kind of very vivid description of these spectacles and these scenes that come across as phenomenal and magical. It's kind of like the Nutcracker. I think I would liken it to the Nutcracker in that it has like these scenes of just beautiful things that aren't necessarily connected to other things that are going on. And for that reason, I've decided to choose this for the prompt at hand, because it feels, you know, light and not necessarily like a book that you're reading, and more like you're looking, like you're admiring a rose garden. For this prompt, I have chosen Hyperbole and a Half, the autobiography kind of memoir thing by Ali Brosh, who has the blog Hyperbole and a Half. She is phenomenal, and this book is hilarious, and obviously it's a very quick read because it's actually kind of a collection of cartoons from blog posts that she's made, and also some that aren't featured on her website, and they're just like little tales and anecdotes from her life. So you can just read one if you want, you can read the whole thing, you don't have to read them in a specific order, and they're funny and they're relatable, and so for that reason I have chosen this book as the book to take the edge off, as the prompt says. And for this final prompt, I have chosen the trilogy, which is in all kinds of bizarre orders, of What Katie Did. I'm not sure, I think I remember someone talking about this on BookTube before. They kind of have some very bizarre, archaic ideals of what young girls and young women should be, but I definitely remember loving them as a kid and wanting to be like Katie, and wanting to be as virtuous as Katie ends up being. And I wasn't ever, but just, yeah, kind of sweet vintage childhood read. That's all I have to say about that one. Woo! So that is the end of the Books and Tea tag. Tea and Books tag. I've already forgotten what this tag is called, but it has something to do with books and it has something to do with tea. If you feel like doing this tag, please do. I'm not sure that I'm actually going to tag anyone specific in it, just because of the fact that I wasn't tagged myself, and I'm only doing this for the Alice in Wonderland theme, March Hares and Mad Hatters. But if you do feel like doing this tag, let me know and tag yourself, or tell me to tag you. And I will see you all very, very shortly, I am sure, in some future video, and until then, stay classic.
Hello.